What is going on, Masked Singer fans? It is finally time to reveal someone else. We're talking about the Griffin. I asked you guys yesterday who you want me to reveal, and that's who you guys chose. And I understand, though I'll be honest with you, I thought you wanted me to reveal the Pearl. When we're going through, I was like, wait, that's the one they want me to do, right? And then when I sat down this morning, I was going through, and I always search to see who you guys asked for, and the Griffin won by a landslide. And so I figured, let's go through the clues, do the pitch correct audio. I'll tell you my guess. We'll then match the pitch correct audio and then go through the clues. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, you give this video a thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get started. So when it comes to the Griffin, we've got 2 episodes of clues. To be honest with you, with this character, in the first episode, we had enough to really put a nail in the coffin and say, oh, we know who this is. But with the second week of clues and realistically one big guess, which we'll talk about later, we know who this is. So let's start off with the first or the premiere of Group B. And I'm paraphrasing here, no reason to read the whole thing, not everything is a clue. But in the first episode of Group B, he says, part eagle, part lion, island, could you imagine? One heck of a mythical creature, I can relate to that. When you become a star, you're treated like a god. Everyone wants a piece. Then he talks about fandom, how he wasn't prepared for a overnight success. Little did I know that first hit would immortalize me. Which is true, that first hit was pretty big. He then talked about some lady who took dirt off of his car and said she was going to take it home for her kids. He says, but he's only human. And he says that he was always reminded of that and reminded of it just recently. He says, the future I saw in the stars was being rewritten. Now I know, man, this life is so precious. Something bad must have happened to him. Visual clues. We saw a badge. Then we saw a bell saying school's out. We saw dirt falling to the ground. A VHS tape, which means this is clearly a child star who had shows that movies came out on VHS. We saw a jack-o'-lantern. And then some people pointed out a sword. I don't really think that's a clue. I think it's just part of his costume. Then episode 2. There were not really many clues in here. When I talk about clues, it's 1 or 2 things. He said, he grew up listening to the Ghostbusters soundtrack. Then he says he loves to sing, and believe it or not, it's something more than he loved to do that. It's just the fact that he didn't do much of that. He's known as an actor. He said he had that feeling. He was a total theater geek, collecting playbills. That's something to do with Broadway. And that there's kids his age didn't really show him mercy, which means that he probably did Broadway when he was young. Very young, most likely in high school. Visual clues weren't many. We saw a playbill, but it really was a mask bill. And then the biggest clue in that episode was the Masked Singer lamp. It was a costume. You probably don't remember it. It was a while ago, but that's 1 clue. That's all the clues you need. Really only needed 1 that really solidified the answer, but now it's time for the pitch correct audio. If you don't know what that is, every week we get these clue packages. In them, it's the real celebrity speaking, but you don't recognize that because they add a filter to it, which pitches it up or slows it down. I'm an executive audio producer. It's my job to make audio sound good, and in the case of the Masked Singer, it's pitch correcting it that way you know exactly who it is. So, I'm going to give you my audio, well, their original audio, then my audio, and then we'll talk about who we think it is. Take a listen.
Making it to Ghostbusters night feels like freaky fate, because I played that soundtrack on repeat as a kid.
Making it to Ghostbusters night feels like freaky fate, because I played that soundtrack on repeat as a kid. Growing up, I loved to sing. And believe it or not, there's nothing I loved more than Broadway. I was a total theater geek, collecting playbills long before it was cool. But the kids my age didn't understand. They showed no mercy, teasing me relentlessly, saying, why are you doing that? And dark thoughts started to creep in my mind. So I hid that part of myself, literally. Built the fort with a record player where I would sing my heart out. That's where that Ghostbusters soundtrack came in. Being here has allowed me to tap back into that passion I was too embarrassed to show as a kid. And it's liberating, spreading my wings. So tonight, here's a dark pop anthem for all you kids being called freaks or geeks. Welcome to the club.
So who is that? Are you saying James Vanderbeek? Because, yeah. Yep, that's exactly who that is. And I figured we can go ahead and break down all the clues, but I want to do the pitch correct audio. There's not too many things of him singing, so we'll do an interview clip, well, the pitch correct audio plus the interview clip, and then the Griffin singing and then him singing. Take a listen.
Saying, why are you doing that? And dark thoughts started to creep in my mind. So I hid that part of myself. Literally. Built the fort with a record player where I would sing my heart out.
And at some after party, some like unofficial after party.
Right.
Somewhere where everybody was.
Am I scaring you tonight?
It sounds like James Van Der Beek, right? Hands down. Now for the clues, which, once again, some of these were pretty darn easy to go through. Talk about the overnight success. Dawson's Creek was the show that really put him on the map. After the premiere, really a couple episodes in, people fell in love with him and the rest of that cast. I mean, they're all pretty much doing a lot of big things these days. He talked about some lady taking dirt off of his car, and I want to quote an interview he did. He says, quote, "The craziest fan story. I remember a woman following me out of the grocery store, wiping dirt off my car, holding up her hand and saying, 'I will take this home to my children.' That felt outside the realm of normal adult behavior to me." Yeah. Then he talks about how he's rewriting his own story, something had happened to him. Just recently, he found out, I think it was 2023, he's got a certain kind of cancer, so he's dealing with that right now. Changed his entire perspective. Then for the visual clues, we saw the badge. He was in the movie Texas Rangers. That's different than a TV show Texas Ranger. Two different things. We saw the School's Out bell. He was known to play some major high school roles, whether it be the jock or the bully. That's what he was known for. So that could be a slew of shows that he was on. Then we saw the VHS tape with the jack-o'-lantern on it. He was in Scary Movie. So it's a movie and it's scary, VHS. You know, it's fun. I don't remember that movie coming on VHS. It must have. VHSs were big. We used to go to Blockbuster and pick up movies like that. Then we had episode 2. He talked about being a theater nerd and geek, and kids made fun of him. Well, he started acting, I believe at age 13, but he did Broadway at 16. So, 1993, yeah, kids made fun of him. He was in high school. He actually went back to Broadway in 2003, so he loves being in the theater, which is pretty neat. Visual clues, playbill. Once again, when you're on a Broadway show, or at least he did off-Broadway. Playbill, there you go. The Bats. He voiced a character in the Disney animated show called Vampiria, something like that? Vampires, so Vampiria, whatever it is. Then we saw the biggest clue from the show, which was the lamp. If you remember the Masked Singer lamp, it was Melissa Joan Hart. And well, she had a TV show back in the 90s called Clarissa Explains It All. I loved that show growing up. That was actually a lot of fun. I like that. That was during all that time and all that. So I remember that show very well. That being said, he was in that. He was on there, I think, how old was he? Was he 16? He may have been 15 at that time. So there's all the clues. I do have one extra one for you though. Remember what I told you about Dancing with the Stars? Usually, if someone was on Dancing with the Stars, they're going to be on The Masked Singer. Who was on Dancing with the Stars? James. James! I see you there, bud. Not sure if you're watching this video, but we got you. It is James. But do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember, I also revealed a lot of other people you could check out, whether it be Coral or Paparazzo. Last week, we just knocked out another one, Boogie Woogie. He's awesome, right? I still love that. I think my favorite costume this season. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. Stay safe. See you later. Bye.